Good morning. This is my Triak sailing sea kayak, hull number 222, manufactured in 2013. The name of the boat is Event Horizon. If you're not an astronomer, you'll probably have to look that up, but Google it and I think you'll find it interesting. So this is my beautiful Triak sailing sea kayak. I've made lots and lots of modifications and improvements to it. It's a terrific boat. It's a lot of fun. It actually also functions without the outriggers as a decent sea kayak, although the seat is relatively high. So if you just were sea kayaking, you'd probably want to reposition it lower. It's set up now high so that it gives you better vantage when you're sailing. I've added too many improvements to this boat to mention all in one short video. The highlights, though, would include these blocks for the foresail sheet because the boat doesn't come with those. I've used soft shackles wherever possible on the boat. I've replaced the mainsail sheet with a slightly larger diameter, easy on the hand line from West Marine. Also, I've replaced all the blocks on the boat with these lighter, stronger Ronstand blocks that have less tendency to bind. I've made the retaining halyard for the foredeck hatch much longer, and I've attached to it any number of bungee cords, which then attach on the other end to small cylindrical dry bags that you can easily retrieve for multi-day trips. I store small things, food items mainly, my stove, my sleeping pad, lightweight items in the bow because you want to keep the bow light. You'll notice I've added these wooden spacers on the sheet control lines. These are just pieces of maple I had handy in the garage. I varnished them. I added these because the sheet angle was not quite adequate. It was too hard to get these cleated back down in with the sheet angle that came with the boat. So I've added these and added new, slightly longer stainless bolts to accommodate them. Let's see, what else? Oh, you'll see back here, I made this netting, which accommodates my breakdown paddle. As you can see, it makes it very easy to access the paddle from the cockpit on an as-needed basis. And of course, on longer trips or other expedition trips, you could fit in all sorts of other essentials. Things that could get wet, but still you could fit in all sorts of other things, dry bags and whatever, under this netting. What else? I've added this red spacer on the foresail halyard line because the Triak has to tack around this line. This spacer essentially turns it into, allows the line to roll freely around this halyard and makes your tacks much smoother. You'll see that instead of putting two bowlines here, I've just used a loop with a seizing to this line, which is the sheet line is about 32 feet long. So let's see. I use a bungee. I've marked on the center board the line at which the board needs to be when beaching, and so you'll notice that my bungee solution here doesn't involve any kind of holes through the hull or anything. It just jams in a little bit in the bow and holds the center board up, or for that matter at any desired angle, whatever your tack angle is. I've also added this jam cleat here on the bow This is the foresail retrieval line. This cleat actually came from back here behind the seat where it was originally, in the original boat, it was the thing that tensioned the seat back, but I found that it didn't hold and didn't work. And that when it was loose, it caused chafing on the back of the seat. So I simply put a pad in here, scavenged this for the foredeck. As you notice from the original labels on the boat, this inner cleat is supposedly used for the main unfurl and this, what they call the spinnaker retrieval line. So it's supposed to do double duty, but in reality it can't. So I've added this because it's important that this line be tensioned at all times, so that when you're furling the mainsail, it does not get wrapped around the spinnaker halyard up there. If both lines aren't tight all the time, that annoying problem will happen to you, and of course it happens at the least desirable time. Over here you'll notice that I found these wooden balls at Hobby Lobby. I simply added these to the end of the lines because it makes it so much easier just to reach over the side and grab them. You know, it gives you a much better positive handhold. If you want, you can actually, while you're sailing, stick these up in here if you're not using the spray skirt so they're not bobbing in the water, but that's a minor issue. So let's see. I think that's about it. I did want to add that throughout the boat I've used these Ronstand blocks with these rubber-based supports to keep the blocks more upright and functional. All of these are much more, with the bigger diameter sheave, they're much more functional. All the lines run much more smoothly through the blocks, and there's less chance of binding. Now, a word about these. I added these as well, these jam cleats for the foresail sheet. The boat originally comes with no way of securing the foresail sheet whatsoever. You're supposed to just hold it in your hand like some sort of a jockey or something. I found that unacceptable because there's so many lines that have to be worked on the Triak anyway. You're too busy retrieving lines from the water trailing astern to be holding two more at all times. So I used these before. When this boat first came, it had two U-bolts, port and starboard. I took those from here since they serve no purpose and put these lines through here just to take up the holes. It makes it look better. And I reinstalled those U-bolts through here. They go through the hull to deck fitting, so they don't actually go through the hull. There's no hole through the hull. And I've adjusted these so that the angle is just right. If you back out these Phillips head screws, you can change the angle. You want the sheeting angle to be just right here because you want to be able to quickly release these for obvious reasons. And if it's a little bit harder to get these in than it is to release them, so be it. If you don't have the angle correctly, you're going to learn that pretty quickly going downwind when you need to detension the foresail to avoid flipping the boat. You'll find yourself upside down in a hurry if these angles are not correct. So these provide a very good sheeting angle for the foresail on most points of sail, all the way from upwind to a broad reach. If you're going, on a far reach or dead downwind or wing to wing, you may want to, not use the cleats and just handle the lines out by hand to get the best sheeting angle. One of the changes that I made that you can't see, it's actually Tom Davis's improvement, is I've replaced the bolt at the top of the mast. The one that comes with the Triak is originally a stainless steel bolt, and it's not strong enough to handle the forces that are put on that bolt by tensioning the foresail when you tighten in the halyard to use the foresail for upwind work. So I replaced it with an 8.8 strength non-stainless bolt, which of course is not corrosion resistant, but they're cheap enough to replace on an as-needed basis, and it's much stronger and doesn't bend. The other thing is I've used roller bearings. This was Tom Davis's idea. He found them, and I've used roller bearings above and below that tang, which gives much less friction on the tang when you're rolling in the reefing in the mainsail, and makes it much less likely that you're going to tangle the foresail halyard in the mainsail when reefing. So that's a very important improvement, and I can give you all the specific model numbers and sources for all these modifications I've talked to you about. So that's my Triak Event Horizon. It's a sweet boat. I'm just about ready to retire, and so I've got the retirement boat in mind, which will be a much larger trimaran. So my Triak, much as I love her, will be on the auction block, and if you've enjoyed this video and you're at all interested in a really fun boat that's easy to sail and fast, and a real head turner too, give me a call and come see my Triak Event Horizon. Thanks for watching my video. Bye for now.